berries, and I did have to adjust, oops, the, God, okay. Hey you guys, it's Sarah. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. We're gonna be doing a what I eat in a day. It's been so long since I last did one because honestly I had decided to cut them out of my content, but I've really been missing doing them, and I asked you guys recently if you guys wanted to bring them back and it was an overwhelming yes. So here we are doing a fall what I eat in a day. But before we get into all the foods and recipes, I just want to welcome anyone who's new to my channel. I create content on fashion, beauty, and lifestyle, and I would love it if you'd subscribe and hit that notification bell. And for everyone watching, please make sure to like this video and leave a comment. That lets me know to keep these what I eat in days going and not cut them out of my content again. So make sure to interact with them so that I know you guys really want to see more of these. But in case you haven't seen a what I eat in a day for me, I used to intermittent fast. I don't really do that anymore. I honestly don't really have any dietary restrictions. My what I eat in a days are really just like for meal and snack inspo, in case you guys were just like in a recipe rut. They're definitely not meant for like weight loss or anything like that. The only thing that I really do follow is I just try to make sure to get in as much protein as possible. I try to make sure every meal has protein. I don't necessarily always hit that, but I am always very mindful about making sure that I'm consuming a good amount of protein every day. And that's because I'm very into weightlifting at the gym. I love lifting heavy, so I know I need a lot of protein in my diet to fuel that activity. But I've been up for about an hour and a half, and all I've actually been having is just some water. Some days I make my coffee right away, and other days it takes me like a little while. But the first thing that I always do every morning is fill up my gallon water bottle. I drink one of these pretty much every single day, and you guys can see I've definitely been working on it. But I just try to make sure to get in water first thing in the morning just to hydrate myself, and that also sets me up on a good track for my water intake for the whole day. But I definitely want to get my coffee going, and I'm thinking I'm feeling like some iced coffee this morning, so I'll show you guys how I make my fall iced coffee. Okay, so here's all the material that I need to make my fall iced coffee. I like to make it pumpkin flavored. First off, I just got this ice tray recently. This was from Amazon, and it makes like really small ice cubes, which I am obsessed with. And then you put it all into the container underneath, and it has a little scooper so you can scoop out your ice, which I don't know, I really love that process. I think it's just like really, really nice. And then this is our cold brew maker. I love this thing. This is from Amazon. I got it for Christmas, but I just am obsessed with it. It was on my list, and I'm so glad that I got it because we've used it so much. The coffee that we use for our iced coffee is the Starbucks Cafe Verona. You guys, if you haven't tried that blend, it is amazing. It's so good. I could honestly drink it black. Then I also use my milk frother. This is the Morocco one. This is so good. Such a great investment. It froths up the milk so perfectly. And then for my creamer, I use the Natural Bliss pumpkin spice. You guys know I usually use the vanilla, but for fall, I like to switch to the pumpkin spice one for obvious reasons. And then this is just some leftover cold brew from the last batch. This is extremely strong because it was at the bottom and had been brewing the longest. But when it comes to the cold brew maker, I always feel like the first batch is the weakest, so I like to save some from the last batch where it's the strongest, and then I just combine those two together so that it hits at a good level. And then this is my favorite cup to drink my iced coffees out of. It's just a large mason jar with a handle. I'm obsessed with it. It's honestly just like such a vibe in the morning when I drink my iced coffees. And then the last thing that I will need is some pumpkin spice. I get mine from Trader Joe's just to finish off on the top of the coffee. In the frother, I go all the way up to the max line for frothing. There's two different lines in here. One's a max for frothing, and then that higher one right there is the max for heating. You don't want to go up to the heating one if you're going to froth, or else it's going to overflow. And for the iced coffees, I always brew on the cold froth setting, just so that I don't get, you know, hot creamer in my cold iced coffee. Look how cute that ice looks in here. I just love the really small cubes. I think it just gives a different vibe. Now that I have some room in here, I'm gonna go ahead and take the ice that had been freezing a little bit earlier and go ahead and just drop it in. So like I said, the first batch of this is usually the weakest, so I'm just gonna fill it up part of the way. And you guys can see by the color, you can see through it. That's actually too weak for me. I like it when you cannot see through the coffee, so I'm gonna take some of this old brew, which there's the color difference. That's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna fill up part of that. Beautiful. So now that is a lot darker. I'm just gonna pour the rest of this into the existing cold brew just to kind of help it flavor itself up a little bit. My favorite part about making iced coffee is watching the creamer go in. Like, is there anything more beautiful in the morning? Just stunning, right? I'm obsessed. Then the last step is just taking some of this pumpkin spice and topping off the coffee with it. There's what it looks like inside, and I actually just stir it all in. I'm back for lunch, changed into my gym fit. I'm really loving the trend of oversized tees at the gym lately because I live in oversized tees, so I'm so much more comfortable wearing them to the gym. But anyways, before I head to the gym, well actually first PARK to take a certain puppy to get some energy out, but gym afterwards. But before all that, I do want to get some food in my system since I haven't actually eaten anything solid today. I generally do skip breakfast just because I tend to be a little bit more nauseous in the mornings. In general, constantly all my life. This is not a pregnancy announcement by any means. So I usually don't eat breakfast, but for lunch today, I'm gonna be making this loaded tuna and cream cheese toast that I have been so obsessed with. It's really good, high fiber and high protein, so it is so filling and perfect for pre-park and pre-gym. To make this lunch, you're gonna need some Ezekiel bread. I just really like the ingredients in Ezekiel bread, and my favorite is the 4-9 one. And then also some oven roasted turkey breast. The one that I'm using is from Trader Joe's. And then you'll need some cream cheese. I'm not necessarily using this Kite Hill one because it's vegan. I'm using it because they have an everything flavor. I haven't been able to find like a regular real cream cheese that's everything flavored, so I just use the Kite Hill one. But if you are vegan, definitely try this out. I literally cannot taste the difference between this and regular cream cheese. It's freaking amazing. But this one is made with almonds, so totally safe for vegan diets. Then I also have some extra virgin olive oil, some red wine vinegar, and then some spring mix. And for seasonings, you're gonna need some garlic salt, or you can use regular salt. I just like the extra flavor. Some cracked black pepper, and then everything but the bagel seasoning. First thing I'm gonna do is toast up the Ezekiel bread. I'm putting nothing on it. I'm just toasting it as is, and we've been over this many times. I like to use my George Foreman grill because I like the grill marks for some reason. So I'm gonna take a handful of greens, about that much. This may actually be too much, but I don't mind getting some extra fiber and greens in, and I'm gonna dress it. So I'm just gonna do a touch of olive oil, just like that, no more. Actually, that was probably too much. And then I can generously put however much red wine vinegar I want. And then I'm gonna top it off with just a dash of garlic salt. I don't wanna do too much. And then just some black pepper, as much as you want on this one. And I'm just gonna use my hands, which I promise are clean, and toss it. If you don't want to dirty up a bowl, you can certainly dress the greens once you put them on the toast, but I like to pre-dress them just because I don't want like extra vinegar and stuff leaking onto the toast. I mean, I've just noticed whenever I like pre-dress my greens, if I'm putting it in a wrap or in a sandwich or something, it just like, it comes out better because, you know, it's not too soggy and the olive oil and the vinegar aren't like spilling all over the place. So I personally prefer to do this method. But like I said, if you want to use less dishes and stuff, you can certainly just do this at the end on top of the toast. But now it's all tossed up and coated, so I'm gonna set this aside so that I can assemble my toast. We've got the toast looking gorgeous with these beautiful grill marks. So now it's time to assemble. So toast on the bottom, obviously. Then gonna take this Kite Hill everything vegan cream cheese, and I'm gonna spread a generous amount on the toast. And you guys, this everything flavor is fire. It's so worth the fact that this isn't real cream cheese. And if you guys want to make this meal vegan, honestly, just omit the turkey or just find like, I guess like a faux vegan turkey or something. But I'm not vegan, so we're gonna load up. I think I'm gonna do 4 slices. I just want to make sure that I'm like super satisfied. And 4. Then taking our pre-mixed spring mix, I'm just gonna give it one last quick toss and load it right on top. And honestly, it's not going to be perfect. This is going to just like kind of fall apart on itself, but I promise it is worth all the work to try to eat this and keep this all together. Then last thing for this toast is just some everything but the bagel seasoning, and that's why I don't do too much salt when I dress this, because there's already salt in the seasoning. So to manage that, I do less salt when I'm tossing and dressing the greens. But that is the loaded turkey toast. I'm so excited for this. This has legitimately been my go-to for the last couple weeks, and I honestly cannot get enough of it. Then on the side of the toast, I'm gonna have an apple. I really love Honeycrisp apples in the fall. I know that they're expensive, but to me they're so worth it because they taste so freaking delicious. So I'm gonna have one of these. I am gonna peel it before I eat it. I'm not a fan of apple skin, so I just make things harder on myself and I peel my apple. But I'm gonna have a whole one of these with my turkey sandwich, along with a small handful of these mini peanut butter filled pretzel nuggets. These are the ones from Trader Joe's, and I know everyone knows about these, but most people know about the big ones. These are tiny ones. Like, they're so freaking small, and I'm obsessed with them. For some reason, I just like the ratio of pretzel to peanut butter better in these. So I just loaded up a little bit into this mason jar just to portion it out for myself, because if I eat from the bag, I will literally finish the whole thing. Back from the gym, and I'm gonna make my post-workout smoothie. You guys have seen me make this so many times before, so I'm just gonna quickly go through the ingredients. But the main thing that I want to show you guys is I did have to get a new blender because our giant Ninja blender broke. While I'm waiting for that one to get repaired, I actually went ahead and I got this one. This is the Ninja Fit. It's just like a small version of the blender, and it's just like so perfect for making smoothies and stuff. If you just need like a blender that you can quickly set up and tear down and isn't gonna take up a lot of space, this is a really good one. I've really been liking this one a lot. I think even once we repair our blender, I don't know, I feel like the smoothie is still a little bit smoother when I use the bigger blender, just because it's so much more powerful. But if I'm like in a hurry or I just don't want to deal with the cleanup of the bigger blender, I would reach for this one for sure. Like I said before, we've made this 5 million times, so I'm just gonna do this kind of quickly. Just mainly wanted to show you guys the little blender. So I'm gonna do some berries, and I did have to adjust the amount that I usually put in these. So this one, I'm only gonna do like 8 ounces or so of berries, just because this volume fills up really, really fast. And then I'm just gonna finish out the spinach that's in this bag. There's not a lot left, so let's do that. And then for my protein, as always, I'm gonna be using the Dot Fit pre and post workout. This one is in chocolate, and it's my absolute favorite protein. I cannot use a different one. This one has 20 grams of protein for 2 scoops. 2 scoops does not fit in here. It gets like really overwhelming with the taste. So I'm just gonna do like a scoop and a half. And then I'll also add some collagen in for a little extra protein boost, but I don't have that much left. I have like the equivalent to 1 scoop left, so it's honestly not gonna really add that much. Maybe just like 5 or 6 grams of protein, but still we'll take it where we can. I need to go to Costco to refill that. And then the last thing that goes in here is some water, just so that it can blend. I feel like I could actually do some more berries. This actually didn't fill up as much as I thought it would, so I'm just gonna do a small handful. I'm still trying to get used to exactly how much I can put in here. Sometimes I do too much, and sometimes, like right now, I did too little, so it just kind of depends. And then this is how freaking easy it is. Let me raise you guys up actually. And just make sure that this is nice and tight. Line it up and just press down. And I like to stop, let it resettle, and then go again, just so I'm making sure that I'm blending everything. I think that that should be good. So there is, once it's all blended up. And there's my smoothie. I also like this size because it keeps me from making a ginormous smoothie like I used to do. So this just keeps it more in check for when I'm using the smoothie more as a snack and not a meal replacement. So I finished my smoothie, and I just feel like my body wants something solid, like it wants to actually chew on something. So I'm gonna have a small bowl of these power curls. I am obsessed with these. These are so good. If you're looking for like a, sorry, the dishwasher's going, but if you're looking for a high protein snack that's like quick, you can just like grab it and munch on it. These are really, really good. They have 6 grams of protein per serving, which is so nice. So I'm gonna grab a little bowl and just portion out, eyeball a serving of this, which is 18 curls or something like that. So I think that that's about 18. I don't think it needs to be exact in my opinion. Like, that's close enough. Okay, so sorry, the dishwasher is still going, but I'm starting on dinner. I'm gonna make pan-fried turkey meatballs. I haven't done turkey meatballs in so long, and I've actually never pan-fried them. I always bake them, but I really want to try pan-frying them. I just feel like it's gonna come out a little bit better. So I'm gonna make that along with some protein pasta. The pasta that I'm using is actually the Protein Plus pasta from, I think it's Barilla or something, but it has 10 grams of protein per serving of this. So in addition to the ground turkey, this is gonna be a super protein packed dinner. While I'm waiting for the water to boil, I am gonna start on the turkey meatballs. So I have some ground turkey and then some Parmesan. If I had grated, that would be better, but all I have is shredded, so we're just gonna run with it. Some Italian seasoning, some black pepper, garlic salt, parsley, and then some of this crushed garlic, which I do have to melt since it is all frozen. I almost forgot, you're gonna need an egg and then some breadcrumbs. I have this Italian style just for some extra flavor. I'm mixing up all the ingredients first, except for the turkey, just to kind of get it all working, and then I'm gonna fold the turkey in. I'm just using this like meat masher just so that I can break up the turkey pretty quickly. Turkey is in. Shoot, it's still a little frozen in the center. I was worried about that. I've been defrosting this for like a day and a half. We just keep our fridge really cold. It's really hard to defrost stuff in there, but it's okay. We are gonna make it work. I realized I forgot the Parmesan, so I added that in now. But it's a good thing I'm using the meat masher, because since the Parmesan is shredded instead of grated, this is gonna help to break it up a little bit better. I have a pan going on like medium-high heat, and I'm gonna go ahead and oil it. I'm just gonna use a spray so that it's evenly coated. I control a little bit better how much I actually put in. I think it's like at a pretty good spot, so I'm just gonna take some meat, probably about that much is good, and roll it up into a little meatball. Just place it right in. I'm really excited to be pan frying these, because like I said, I've never done it before, but I also like a good brown crust, so I feel like I can really achieve that with this method versus when I used to bake it. But the thing is, I'm a little bit scared about just making sure I cook it all the way through. I don't always trust myself on that front, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm just gonna follow the instructions as best I can. So these are cooking up nicely, and then I've got the pasta in here. This will probably be done in a couple minutes here. Some definitely flipped better than the others. As you guys can see, this one right here lost its crust. Same with that one, but it's a learning process. I swear to God, I greased it enough. I don't know why it's sticking so bad. Then, I know you guys can't see anything, I'm gonna add in a 1/4 cup of water and turn this down to a simmer and just cover it to let them cook the rest of the way. Now it's time to actually start on putting everything together. So I took out all of the meatballs and left like the brown bits on the bottom for some flavor. I'm gonna oil it up, and then you guessed it, we're gonna get some more garlic in here. Make this really garlicky. And while the meatballs were steaming, I cut up some cherry tomatoes. Actually, these are great tomatoes. And stir those in there along with the garlic. And I'm just gonna let the tomatoes kind of wilt and pick up all of like the flavor on the bottom here. Just gonna add a touch of garlic salt, some black pepper, and some parsley. With the heat nice and high and the tomatoes wilting pretty nicely, here's a little peek at them. They're looking pretty good. I'm gonna add in our pasta. Just stir that all up together and go in with some spinach. Season with the spinach a little bit. So I'm gonna help this along with some water and cover it up and really get that spinach to wilt. Spinach is wilting really nicely. Everything's cooking together beautifully. And this last piece is optional. If you love olives like me, you'll want to do this. I'm gonna turn this heat down just a bit, but I'm going in with a full can of olives because I have no chill, but I mean, modify to your taste. I'm gonna stir that all in. Oh my god, this whole thing is now just completely 100% olives, but I'm not mad at that at all. And let the olives cook for just like a minute in this. I think aesthetically I like 3 meatballs, but I kind of want to eat 4. So we're gonna do 4. And some Parmesan, because that's just how I roll. And by some, I mean a lot. That is dinner. She is looking beautiful. I am so excited for these meatballs. I haven't done this in so long. I mean, we've already established I've never pan fried, so this is basically new altogether. And hopefully they are cooked all the way through, but otherwise this dinner looks stunning. And then to drink, I'm gonna have a Waterloo sparkling water. I just tried this brand and I'm obsessed. It's so good. I really love the grape flavor in particular. If you are insane like me and you like the taste of Diamond Tap, I highly recommend this one. Alright, it's later and I have a sweet tooth, so I'm gonna have this for dessert. This is the Icelandic Provisions. It's an Icelandic yogurt and it is packed with protein, 15 grams of protein. This is the raspberry one and I really love this brand because it tastes exactly like fresh raspberries. It's so good. But on top, I'm gonna do some of this Kind dark chocolate granola. It actually doesn't have too much sugar, which I like, and it also has a little bit of protein as well, so get like a double hit between the two. So I originally thought that this cup wasn't big enough to fit the granola in as well, but it actually is. So here's what it looks like. It's super thick and creamy, and then I just do like a 1/3 cup of granola, just sprinkle it right on top, and that's dessert. So it's late at night and I'm gonna have my evening tea before I go to bed. The tea that I've been using is the Yogi peppermint tea. I'll have peppermint tea most nights before I go to bed just to kind of like settle my stomach and help with digestion. And I like this brand because on the little cards on the tea bags, it usually has some kind of inspirational quote or something. So this one says, "Without gratitude, there is no prosperity," which is really nice. But usually the ones that I really love, you guys might have seen me post on Instagram if you are following my stories on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this steep for about 7 minutes. And with that, I'm also gonna get into the holiday spirit. Don't judge me. I love the holidays. I'm very excited for the holidays. So I let them start early. Actually, the day you guys are watching this is Halloween if you're watching it the day it went up. So technically I'm just a day early because for me, Christmas starts November 1st. But I saw these Pepperidge Farm Milano cookie slices, and these are just like halves of a regular Milano cookie, and then they have little pieces of peppermint candy on them. So I'm gonna have just a couple slices of them with my tea, and then I will be going to bed. So that is gonna be it for this what I eat in a day video. I hope you guys enjoyed spending the day with me and hopefully got some snack or meal inspo. Don't forget to like this video and leave a comment to encourage me to do more of these so that they don't disappear again. And if you're new here, again, I would love it if you would subscribe and join my little YouTube family. But I'm gonna finish up my tea and my cookies and head to bed. So I will see you guys very soon again in my next video. Bye.